been struggling with this chapter since September. And I think I realized one of the reasons it's such an important part of my life, the 7 years that I was in Hawaii. Such a change, and really knowing who I was in a lot of different ways. But also, if I really tell the truth, everybody's going to know that I'm just a sleazebag. But you always sort of have this idea that you should be somehow morally superior or whatever, and we're not. And if the truth be known, most of us are pretty human. To really understand the tricks of my life, you had to understand Hawaii and what it meant to me and why I was there. That was the first time in my life I really just stood on my own and succeeded. How did I get there? Well, I was in Vancouver, but I had owned 3 restaurants. I'd been a stockbroker, successful, nothing but success most of my life. But that was my first really massive failure. I was left in Vancouver with pretty much nothing. I lost everything. Businesses, friends, relationships, nothing going on. Lost all my money, and I don't think I even had more than about a month's rent and no job. And I lost everything, and I had a choice. I had like $500. And I said, I'd just been to Hawaii and met some pretty interesting people, went for a little vacation, and decided I wanted to live there. I had 1 or 2 people that I knew, enough to open the doors, and I'd go from there. And I just took I had $300 cash and a plane ticket, and I bought a ticket to Hawaii and just said, fuck it, I'm gonna go see what happens. A job. My first 2 nights I didn't have a job. I said, if I don't get a job, I'll go back. And I got a job washing dishes. It was quite a fall from stockbroker, 3 restaurants, traveling the world, playing the role, to really having nothing but one duffel bag and sleeping at the Y and washing dishes. And I discovered that I just loved it. I just loved it because I was free. I was just free. I wasn't even me. I made up a name and a number and went to work. It's a different time. There wasn't all the big terrorist activities. What made me feel comfortable going is that there was an interesting group of people that met. If you're familiar with Waikiki and Kapulani Park, that's between Waikiki and Diamond Head, just past Queen Surf. There's a wall that goes all along the beach. You're walking the wall there before the Duke Kainamoko aquarium thing or traditorium, whatever it is. It's all messy now, full of jellyfish. And they met every day at sunset. And it was this amazing collection of spiritual people, tarot card readers and psychics and artists. And in those days, this was before Waikiki completely went commercial. It was sort of a artist's bohemian. Waikiki was full of lots of little cheap rentals and a lot of artists and bohemian writers, musicians, and people that just wanted to get away from the world lived there. It was a marvelous, absolutely. Every night at sunset, these people would meet, and it'd be a different assortment of people every night. There was one crucial woman there, Florence Burkott, who was later to be my third wife. A Jewish heiress, never worked a day in her life, a brilliant spiritual follower of Gandhi, and she did astrology, the real thing with the big charts and all that stuff, and tarot card readers, and she made a little extra money doing tarot card readings on Waikiki Beach. A very interesting woman, intellectual woman. She knew Ferlinghetti and all the San Francisco beat poets and everything. So we'd meet every day at sunset and talk about spiritual issues. My in to the group was that I had spent time as a devotee of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi teaching meditation. And I knew the mantra meditations and the Vedas and stuff like that. So that was enough to get me in. Fake it until you make it, honey. And we met, and it was always different. It was just a fascinating learning time of my life when I learned about astrology and numerology and palm reading and tarot, and how the real psychics from the fake psychics and all that stuff. And it was an amazing, sort of wonderful time. And a job riding pedicabs. One of the people down at the beach introduced me, you know how it goes, friend to friend, introduced me to the owners of the first pedicabs in Waikiki. Jimmy Pinkston, a ghostwriter, a Hollywood ghostwriter, and I saw the guy, he was a rotten guy, but Jimmy was beautiful. Anyway, they gave me a job riding pedicabs and driving tourists around. It was an absolute ball. Because I ended up having my own bike, customized bike, and I put a little stereo on it and stuff, and then I rented it by the month, and then I would work like 4 or 5 hours in the afternoon, ride some tourists around, make enough money, sell them a little pot if they're from Canada. I could sell them. They all wanted to get a little weed, and then just kind of party all night, and then sleep in till whenever, and go surfing and hiking in the daytime, and then around sunset, just before sunset, it got busy. I'd go out and make another 20 or 30 bucks, and that was enough. It was a life. It was amazing, and it was so healthy. I was outside and riding bikes, and I didn't have anything, and I had an apartment 2 blocks from Waikiki, a little 1 bedroom with 2 lanais outside, and it was just marvelous, absolutely marvelous time. Of all the times in my life, it was the most free, absolutely free. I didn't own anything. We didn't have a TV. There was no cell phones and no TV. Didn't have a TV or radio. Didn't have anything in the apartment that anyone could steal, because the garden, you could jump over the wall in the garden. If you had anything of value at all, it would just get stolen. Just a few clothes and an old surfboard and boogie board, that kind of stuff. Anyway, so that's how I was there. I think that whole time, to really understand me, you have to understand there's that part of me that lived on an island, and there's a part of me that still would just like to go back there somewhere. Hawaii's done. I mean, it got so many bloody rules there. You can't even fart without getting a ticket. But there's someplace in the world, Bohemian. I thought it was Mexico, but you need to be at a place where you feel really safe, and you can never really feel safe in Mexico. Love it, but you know what I'm talking about. Chapter, but it's just too much. So I'm going to break it into at least 3 chapters, and the next chapter is going to be about how I learned to seduce men when you have no money, and also on meeting the real love of my life and what happened from there. So I'll work on that. I don't think it's going to take as long as chapter 5. So I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. There's quite a few people, more than I thought, following along on this, and thanks for that. It's very encouraging.